Step into my video dedicated to the culture of Hawaii, a tale of preserving traditions in the land that make them possible. From ancient chants echoing through volcanic craters to the gentle sway of hula, Hawaiian culture is truly a beautiful thing. But there is some problems to this. The thing is, not all Hawaiians are currently living in Hawaii. A lot of them got priced out by the expensive prices to stay on the land. Hawaiians are an ethnic group, and in fact they are the smallest percentage of an ethnic group in the United States at just 0.2%. An ethnic group is set apart from others primarily because of its national origin or its distinctional cultural patterns. They are the smallest percentage of an ethnic group at the U.S., which makes them a minority group, defined as members that have significantly less control or power over their own lives than the members of a dominant majority. Growing up as a Hawaiian in North Carolina, I definitely experienced some racial inequality. And I learned in sociology that early thinkers like W.E.B. Du Bois and Pierre Bourdieu focused on racial disadvantages and how important it is to have knowledge of your culture to preserve through racial inequality. So my hypothesis is this. There is clear evidence that there has been a decrease in Hawaiian culture over the years. When missionaries took over Hawaii, the culture was almost completely torn down, and now there are organizations like Kapapa Lo'i o Kanawai to implement ways for Hawaiians and others to reconnect with the culture. The greater number of places Hawaiians can go to explore the culture, the more they will learn and spread it to others. So if the preservation of Hawaiian culture is not addressed and continues to be rebuilt, then Hawaiians will continue to experience inequality and problems with lack of culture. Well, before I dive in on the micro level importance that Kapapa Lo'i o Kanawai has on culture, I want to go into the macro and meso first. So in my opinion, the macro should be based around social media presence. Having more social media presence in America by having Hawaiian celebrities promote the culture, such as Dwayne Johnson and Jason Samoa. To get to where the culture needs to be, we need to use mass media and technology. With such a technology-based world, influencers such as these two can inform people of their significance of keeping the culture in Hawaii stable. Mass media is the print and electronic means of communication that carry messages to widespread audiences. Technology is the machinery and equipment developed from the application of scientific knowledge, and an influencer is a social media user who has established credibility in a specific industry. Now with Dwayne Johnson and Jason Momoa, they're some of the most famous actors in probably the world. So they have large audiences that they can reach to spread information, which they do, but they need to continue doing. Next is meso. So we give more opportunities on the island for Native Hawaiians to thrive in Hawaii, starting with land and giving them the opportunity to manage their own land. We have to give Hawaiian homes for Native Hawaiians to live for a discount on the island and improve the system immediately. There is no culture without Hawaiians living on the land. And lastly, offer free language classes for adults that cannot learn like their kids can now, using Hawaiian volunteers and or making it a paid job. And now to continue talking about Kapapa Lo'i o Kanawai, which is the micro. So this includes to stop building on Hawaiian sacred land and to slow the building of the island. This will help with overpopulation and keeping Hawaiian land sacred. It's also providing transportation from colleges like Chaminade and Hawaii Pacific University to be able to come and experience this as well. And lastly, to expand Lo'i Fields or another volunteer event to allow people to go and make a change in the community throughout the island. Kapapa Lo'i o Kanawai is a piko for Hawaiian knowledge at the University of Hawaii at Manoa. They discovered that this land, called Kanawai, was highly valued for its kalo productivity, and it is their responsibility to continue this. The emphasis was to create a unique resource for the university and the surrounding community by providing experimental learning opportunities and a peaceful retreat from the herbal surroundings. Laulima, Malama Aina, and Pu'uahona are three words they use a lot, all of these words stemming from their relationship as Hawaiians or people in appreciation of the Hawaiian culture and its origin stories. They have knowledgeable helpers that help others learn and appreciate Hawaiian culture. I got the chance to interview two of their employees and their director, so here are those interviews now. And then how do you think having this right on campus kind of helps Hawaiian students and then also just kids just trying to learn about their culture? just around here?
Yep. We're a thriving Lahui, and you can see it by with everything, all the people here, and all the excitement there is to get into the college. So I think bringing not only the families and kids and students together, kind of builds this village, kind of builds like one big family over here that everyone can come back and kind of grow together from that.
Talking about with social issues, this is a pretty big, but this is an area where a lot of important political things have happened before. Everything from water rights all the way to the freedom to allow hollow farmers to even plant. And so a place like this exists today because of everybody who came before us, because of all the social issues that people were pushing before us. Because if we never have those people who come before us, then everything you see around you wouldn't exist.
You're not going to read this in a book. You know, you can read and read and read, but until you actually get here, you see the water, you care for the water, care for the lo'i, the plants. That's where the real learning is. You know, you can talk about it, read about it, write about it, but it's not until you actually get here and actually practice. That's where the real learning starts. Yeah.
So I've used the word culture a couple times already, so here's the definition for it. It's the totality of learned, socially transmitted customs, knowledge, material objects, and behaviors. It includes the ideas, values, and artifacts of groups of people. This can also include language and informal norms, which are big in Hawaiian culture, both key to understanding the Hawaiian culture as well. So informal norms are something like taking your shoes off before you enter a house in Hawaii, and language being the system of word meanings and symbols for all aspects of the culture. Their goal is to kind of help you embrace the culture shock that you may feel by coming to Hawaii. Culture shock is having the uneasy feeling of being a little bit out of place because it shows that it is a different culture than wherever you are coming from, and a unique culture at that. The functionalist perspective proves the culture is quite important to society. I say this because culture is the most important thing about Hawaii, and it is Hawaiians' identity. In the conflict perspective, the tourists are benefiting from the Americanized and comfortable version of Hawaii that they vacation at. The people who suffer are the Hawaiians that are seeing in real time their land being filled with building, apartments, and tourist attractions, all of which weakening the culture. The people building these attractions and apartments are the ones dominating at the expense of others. The focus on interactionalist views is focusing on culture affecting daily life and the behavior of people. In conclusion, this project was definitely eye-opening to me to see the importance of Hawaiian culture, and it will definitely motivate me to go and participate in the future. And I hope this video motivates you to go and help as well. Mahalo for listening to my presentation.